this the second time?
Like the first time I...
The cymbals crash. A drumstick snaps in half, and in the dim, sweat-soaked rehearsal room of Whiplash, a young Miles Teller bleeds through his hands as he plays harder, faster, more desperately than anyone before him. To most viewers, it was just acting raw, explosive, unforgettable. But for Miles Teller, that look of pain wasn't entirely a performance. Long before Hollywood knew his name, he survived a car accident so violent it threw him across the road, leaving deep scars carved into his face and into his future. Casting directors told him he didn't have the right look. Agents warned he would never be a leading man. And yet, something inside him refused to break. Years later, he would stand on the deck of a fighter jet in Top Gun, Maverick, transformed into one of the most respected dance surprising actors of his generation. So the question is this: how did a small-town kid who nearly lost everything rise to become one of Hollywood's most intense and fearless performers? Miles Alexander Teller was born on February 20th, 1987, in Downingtown, Pennsylvania, to a close-knit, hard-working family. His father was a nuclear power plant engineer. His mother, a real estate agent to people who believed in discipline, structure, and doing things the right way. But from a young age, Miles was different. His world wasn't built around rules. It was built around rhythm. When he was just a kid, he fell in love with music, especially the drums. He wasn't the fastest or the strongest, but he had a fire in him, a restless energy that made him practice for hours. In school, he wasn't the popular star or the natural talent. He was awkward, quiet at times, and carried a sense of not quite fitting in. Everything changed when his family moved to Citrus County, Florida. The new environment gave him space to explore who he was. He joined drama classes, played music in local bands, and began discovering the electricity of performing. But then came the night that nearly destroyed everything. In 2007, while riding in a car with friends, Teller was thrown 30 feet during a violent crash. His face was left permanently scarred, and doctors told him he was lucky to be alive. For a moment, his future seemed stolen. Yet that trauma, those scars would later become the very thing that shaped his identity, giving his performances a depth that can't be taught. After surviving the crash, Miles Teller made a decision. If life had given him a second chance, he would use it. He enrolled at NYU's prestigious Tisch School of the Arts, studying method acting while still playing drums on the side to make money. But the journey was anything but easy. During early auditions, executives stared at his scars more than at his talent. Some told him directly that he didn't have a marketable face. Others suggested surgery. And a few simply dismissed him before he even spoke a line. But Teller refused to hide what he had survived. He embraced the scars. He used them. His breakthrough came in a way almost no one expected. In 2010, Oscar-winning actress Nicole Kidman saw his audition tape for Rabbit, and requested him, personally insisting that he had something raw and painfully real that no one else possessed. That single role became his launch point. Then came a string of indie films, each building a little more momentum. Footloose, 2011. The Spectacular, now 2013. He wasn't a blockbuster star yet, but audiences noticed something different about him: an emotional honesty, an unpolished intensity, a sense that he wasn't acting at all by the time Hollywood realized what he could do. Miles Teller was already preparing for the role that would change his life, a role that demanded every scar, every wound, every drop of grit he'd collected. The turning point arrived in 2014 with a film that would redefine not just Miles Teller's career, but modern cinematic intensity: Whiplash. To play Andrew Nimona, young drummer obsessed with greatness, Teller didn't just act. He bled for the role. Already a skilled drummer, he trained for hours every day, pushing himself to physical exhaustion. Many of the blood splatters in the movie real. His determination mirrored his characters and audiences felt the truth of it. Whiplash became a phenomenon. Critics hailed Teller as the closest thing to a young De Niro, praising his rawness and vulnerability. He earned a Golden Globe nomination and instantly joined Hollywood's list of most promising leading men. But success is rarely a straight climb. In 2015, he stepped into the much-hyped Fantastic Four reboot. The project collapsed under studio conflict and poor reception. Many actors would have faded after such a blow, but Teller took the fallout head-on. He moved toward more grounded films, Bleed, for this, War Dogs, and Only the Brave each showcasing deeper layers of emotional grit. Then came the moment no one anticipated. Top Gun: Maverick 2022. As Bradley Rooster Bradshaw, Teller stepped into a legacy role that could have crushed him under decades of expectation. Instead, he soared. His performance was heartfelt, human, and powerful enough to stand firm beside Tom Cruise's rare feat in modern Hollywood. The film became one of the highest-grossing movies of the decade. And Teller's Rooster Dance on the Beach turned him into a global icon overnight. For many viewers, this wasn't just the rise of a movie star, it was the resurrection of one by the time the credits rolled. Miles Teller was no longer promising. He had arrived. Success brought Miles Teller into the spotlight, but the spotlight can burn just as easily as it shines. After Whiplash, Hollywood expected him to rise without interruption. Instead, he stepped into a storm. The 2015 Fantastic Four disaster didn't just fail. It detonated. Critics targeted every part of the production, and Teller was caught in the middle. Rumors spread that he clashed with the director. Tabloids called him difficult, arrogant, even ungrateful. Much of it was exaggerated or entirely false, but perception is powerful in Hollywood. The next blow came during the Divergent era. Reports surfaced claiming he was unhappy with his role, that he didn't want to be there. Suddenly, the media painted him as a problem actor someone studios should be cautious about hiring. For a young star still building his identity, the criticism cut deep. Then in 2017, another story erupted. Miles Teller had allegedly been scammed and lost money to a fraudulent business manager. Overnight, headlines turned his private financial pain into public entertainment. The narrative was no longer about talent. It was about drama. Social media didn't help. Old interviews were clipped out of context. Every confident statement was twisted into arrogance. Every silence was labeled attitude. For the first time since his accident, Teller felt something he hadn't felt in years. The world was turning against him. But behind closed doors, friends and colleagues told a different story. Directors who worked with him spoke of dedication, loyalty, and an almost punishing work ethic. Yet battling rumors is harder than battling reality in those years. Miles Teller learned a harsh truth of Hollywood. It's not enough to succeed. You must also survive the story others write about you. After years of battling rumors, misquotes, and a reputation he never agreed to, Miles Teller stepped back from the noise. He focused on the things that grounded him: his craft, his marriage, and the quiet, steady work of rebuilding himself instead of chasing blockbusters. He chose roles with weight stories about real people, real pain, real courage. In Bleed for this, he transformed his body and mindset to play a boxer who refused to quit after a life-threatening accident. The parallels to his own journey were impossible to ignore. Directors began to see something deeper: discipline without ego, intensity without chaos. Outside of film, Teller embraced a more private life. He became actively involved in military support causes, honoring veterans and first responders. Slowly, the media narrative shifted. The arrogant troublemaker faded, replaced by an image more reflective of who he truly was: dedicated, loyal, and fiercely committed to his work. And then came the role that would rewrite everything. Rooster in Top Gun: Maverick. Not just a character, but a symbol of legacy, resilience, and emotional depth. The performance reintroduced Miles Teller to the world, not as a controversial figure, but as an actor reborn. It wasn't a comeback, it was a redefinition. Today, Miles Teller stands as one of the most distinctive performers of his generation, an actor defined not by perfection, but by perseverance. His legacy isn't built on flawless roles or constant praise. It's built on something far more human: the courage to rise after being underestimated, scarred, criticized, and misunderstood. From the crash that nearly killed him, to the failures that put his career under fire, to the global triumph of Top Gun: Maverick, Teller has become a symbol of what happens when you refuse to let the world define you. For aspiring actors, he represents authenticity in an industry obsessed with polish. For audiences, he offers characters who bleed, break, and fight their way forward. For Hollywood, he stands as proof that intensity and vulnerability can coexist in one performance and in one man. The journey of Miles Teller proves that scars don't limit a destiny. They light the way toward it. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video, share it with fellow movie lovers, and subscribe for more powerful Hollywood journeys on Stars and Scandals.